Hi, all my friends at the Hop Hog Library. Welcome back to another edition of our Sunday Stories. I cannot wait till we are back at the library and doing this in person. But for now, I am still coming into your home to get ready on a Sunday night to settle in for some stories. So what we always do at a time for kids, we start out with some music and movement. We get some energy going first, and then we settle into some stories. And then at the very end of the program, I always give you a great takeaway craft that you can do. All right, so that tonight is no different. What we are doing today is talking all about the summer reading program. So we are getting ready to celebrate Tails and Tales. So our story time tonight is all about animals with tails. All right, so if you guys are ready to have some fun, let's warm up a little bit. Can you guys wave your hands to say hello? Hi, everyone. Now we can take those hands. Can you guys wave them up high? Let's wave those hands high in the air. There you go. Now, boys and girls, take those hands, bring them way down low. We are waving our hands down low. And now let's move our hands fast. Wave your hands fast, wave them fast. And now let's wave them really slow. All right, my friends, keep your hands waving. We are singing our hello song. And if you've been to one of my programs before and you know the words, jump right in and sing with me. And if not, wait till you learn the words and then sing along. Very simple words. Hello, 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 and how are you? How are you?
I'm fine.
Can you say I'm fine?
I'm fine. And I hope that you are too.
So let's keep saying those words.
Hello, 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 and how are you? I'm fine. I'm fine. And I hope that you are too.
All right, you guys.
Okay,
this time I'm going to sing the hello part to you.
Can you sing the I'm
Can
fine
you guys
part?
sing I'm fine back? When I say how are you, you sing I'm fine. Here we go. Hello, 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 and how are you? Your turn. Say I'm fine.
I'm fine. And I hope that you are too.
Nice job.
Good. Okay, this time.
All right, how about this time? Can you guys sing hello to me? Wave to me and sing hello.
Hello.
Listening.
Hello. Hello.
Thanks for asking.
I'm fine.
I'm fine.
And I hope that you are too. If you want to tell somebody
now
hello
what we're
with
going to
your
do is we're going to
hands,
practice
what could you
waving
do?
with our different body parts. So let's take
You
those
could shake,
hands.
you could wave.
Let's
Why
put
don't
them
we wave
way up
first?
high in the
Everybody
air
on
and
this
let's
side of the room,
wave those
why don't
hands
you
up
wave
here
to
like
them?
this.
Hello. Hello. Hello, and how are you? And everybody
And then
over
bring
here,
those
you
hands
wave
down
back
low
to them.
and let's
I'm
wave them down
fine.
low.
I'm fine. And I hope that you are too. Okay,
And
shall
let's
we
take
try
these
that?
hands,
Who's
we're
going
going
to
to put
wave
them out
first?
to the side and let's do some
Okay.
crisscross waving.
Hello. Hello. Hello, and how are you? I'm fine. I'm fine. And I hope that you are too. This time, instead of waving
This time,
with your
everybody,
hand,
let's
can you
find
wave
those
your hand?
little tiny pinky fingers, right?
What kind of
It
voice
may
would
be
you
the
sing that
summer,
in if
but
you were
we need
waving
to
with
get
your
our
pinky
little
finger?
pinkies ready and our
Let's try
fingers
it.
ready for school.
Hello.
So let's stretch them out like this. Hello, and how are you? I'm fine. I'm fine.
And I hope that you are too. Okay, here comes a silly one.
All right, this time, you
Who knows
guys,
where his
let's
elbow
find our
is?
elbows.
Can you wave with
One
your
over
elbow?
here and one over here. And we can
Let's see you
move
wave.
them
Okay.
out
You
and away
wave
from
hello
our
over there
bodies.
and you wave
And let's
back.
wave with our elbows.
Hello. Hello, and how are you? I'm fine. I'm fine. And I hope that you are too. Okay,
All right,
can
this
you,
time, you
how
guys,
would you wave
let's
with your
find our
head?
heads. Find your head, and
Good.
then let's wave with our
Okay, here we
heads.
go.
All right, you can nod your head to say hi to somebody.
Hello,
I see you there, like that.
I'm fine, and I hope that you are too.
All right, my friends, this is where we get a little bit silly. Can you wave with your tongue? Everybody stick out your tongue.
Can you sing and wave with your tongue at
And
the same
let's sing
time?
with our tongues waving.
Hello,
Hello, hello, and how are you?
I'm fine, and I hope that you are too. Now you know, somebody said that
Before we
besides
also
waving,
said you could shake somebody's hand to say hi to
Nice way
them.
to say
So
hello.
boys and
Why don't
girls,
you
if
turn
you
to the
have
person
somebody
next to you and
next to
shake
you
their
right
hand?
now, put your hand out like this, squeeze their hand,
Hello.
shake it up and down just like this, give them a nice handshake, and let's all clap now.
I'm fine, and I hope that you are too.
Good job, my friends. All right, everybody. Even though this is our Sunday stories and we are going to settle down in a minute for some stories, let's get some energy going first. Let's all stand on up. We are going to do our movement song. So at A Time for Kids, we always do our train song. What that does is it helps our brains, it puts things in order, we form a sequence, and we move around a little bit. So let's get that last little bit of energy out. Everybody stand on up. Let's move our arms like this. These act like the wheels on the train. Chugga, 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 chugga. And when the music starts, just walk around a little bit at your house, make a little circle. That will be your train tracks. And then at different points, I'm going to have you stop your trains and we're going to do some big movements together. All right, my friends, let's get ready. Let me see those wheels moving. We're doing this one together and we're going on a train ride. Here we go. I have my whistle. All aboard. All right, let's move our arms like this and just walk around. There's a train and it rides through the town and the countryside. And where it goes, nobody knows, but it always ends up here. All right, we're going to stop our trains and do the conductor. All aboard. Let me see some big arms like this, boys and girls. All aboard. Can you guys do that one more time? Ready? All aboard. You got it. All right, get your wheels moving. We're going around again. Each time we go around, we learn one more step and we put it all together. All right, stop your train. We're doing whistles. Woo! Arms up and pull it down. Woo! We're going to switch it over to the other side this time. Woo! And going back to that conductor like this. All aboard! And it always ends up here. All right, here we go around again. And it rides through the town and the countryside. And where it goes, nobody knows, but it always ends up here. Hold it up. The people. So this time we're squishing our fingers. Working all these little muscles. Back to the whistle. Woo! Other side. Woo! And conductors. All aboard. And it always ends up. All right, get those wheels moving. Let's move around again. Through town and the countryside. And where it goes, nobody knows, but it always ends up here. Hold it up. The engine. Give yourself a little shake. You got it. Squish your fingers.
Tap, tap, tap. Here the people go. Tap, tap, tap. And the whistle.
Whistle. Woo! Switch sides. Woo! And conductors. All aboard. And it always ends up here. All right, here we go again. And it rides through the town and the countryside. And where it goes, nobody knows, but it always ends up here. All right, stop the train and let's do the brakes. Push your arms out to stop the train. Ready? Screech. Yeah, the brakes. One more time. Screech. And shake it up. Yeah, the engine goes. And the squish those fingers. Tap, tap, tap. Oh, the people go. Tap, tap, tap. And the whistle. Whistle. Woo! Last whistle. Switch it up. Woo! Show me those big conductor arms. All aboard. And it always ends up. All right, one more time. Let's get our energy out. Here we go. And where it goes, nobody knows, but it always ends up here. And where it goes, nobody knows, but it always ends up here. job. All right, my friends, give yourselves a round of applause. Thank you for taking that train ride with me. Now let's settle down and get ready to listen to some stories. So if you have a comfortable chair or your couch or you're jumping in your bed, let's get all cozy because we are going to listen to some stories. And as I mentioned earlier, we are talking all about our summer reading program this year. So it is called Tales and Tales. So if you guys have not signed up for the summer reading program, make sure you check in with the Hop Hog Library. Grown-ups, if your child is on the younger side and not able to read by themselves yet, you read to them, you record what you're reading to them, you take it to the library, you show it to them, and the kids get prizes. That's right, boys and girls, you get prizes for reading. All right, so what that does is it really helps to keep the kids interested in reading. It helps to build their early literacy skills, and it also helps when they are at school to prevent that summer slide that can happen when kids take time off from school during the summer. All right, you guys, so let's get ready for some stories. And since we are talking about tales, my book tonight is called What Do You Do with a Tale Like This? And this is by Steve Jenkins and Robin Page. Well, let's find out what all these animals do with their tails and all different parts of their bodies. So here we go. Animals use their noses, ears, tails, eyes, mouths, and feet in very different ways. See if you can guess which animal each part belongs to and how it is used. At the back of the book, you can find out more about these animals. What do you do with a nose like this? We'll take a look at all the different noses. I wonder what animals those noses belong to. Let's find out. If you're a platypus, you use your nose to dig in the mud. If you're a hyena, you find your next meal with your nose. If you're an elephant, you use your nose to give yourself a bath. If you're a mole, you use your nose to find your way around underground. And if you're an alligator, you breathe through your nose while hiding in the water. What do you do with ears like this? Look at all these different kinds of ears. I wonder how they help the animals. Let's find out. If you're a jackrabbit, you use your ears to keep cool. They help to cool them off. If you're a bat, you see with your ears. If you're a hippopotamus, you close your ears when you're underwater. If you're a cricket, you hear with your ears that are on your knees. His ears are on his knees. If you're a humpback whale, you hear sounds hundreds of miles away. What do you do with a tail like this? Look at those tails. See if you can guess what animals they belong to. If you're a giraffe, you brush off pesky flies with your tail. If you're a skunk, oh boy, you lift your tail to warn that a stinky spray is on the way. If you're a lizard, you break off your tail to get away. Look at that, the lizard can break off his tail if he gets in a tough situation. If you're a scorpion, your tail can give a nasty sting. And if you're a monkey, you hang from a tree by your tail. So those are very different uses for tails. What do you do with eyes like these? Look at all those different eyes. What animals do you think those belong to? Let's find out. If you're an eagle, you spot tiny animals from high in the air. Those are the eagle eyes that they talk about. If you're a chameleon, you look two ways at once, so the chameleon can see out both sides. If you're a four-eyed fish, you look above and below the water at the same time. That fish has 4 eyes. If you're a bush baby, you use your large eyes to see clearly at night. And if you're a horned lizard, You squirt blood out of your eyes. Wow. What do you do with feet like these? Look at those feet. If you're a chimpanzee, you feed yourself with your feet. Well, that's silly. If you're a blue-footed booby, you do a dance. Those are dancing feet. If you're a water strider, you walk on water. If you're a gecko, you use your sticky feet to walk on the ceiling. If you're a mountain goat, you leap from ledge to ledge. Right, so feet can do a lot of cool things. What do you do with a mouth like this? Let's see. If you're a pelican, you use your mouth as a net to scoop up fish. Look at that, it looks just like a net. If you're an egg-eating snake, you use your mouth to swallow eggs larger than your head. Look at that, he can expand his mouth and swallow that whole egg. If you're a mosquito, you use your mouth to suck blood. That's how they bite us. If you're an anteater, you capture termites with your long tongue. If you're an archerfish, you catch insects by shooting them down with a stream of water. And those are all our animals. And that book showed us, what do you do with a tail like this? We also learned what they might do with their ears and their mouth and their feet. So a really cute story. And if you guys want to check out more stories like this, make sure you go back to the Hop Hog Library and take out a bunch of books. All right, you guys, we are continuing on. And since we are talking about animals with tails and summer reading, I chose a book tonight called Wild About Books. And this book is by Judy Sierra and the pictures by Mark Brown. And this is a really colorful book with all of these animals. Let's see how they are wild about books. Are you guys wild about books? I know I am. I have my books lined up back there. I have books all over my house. And look at these colorful illustrations. Here we go. It started the summer of 2002 when the Springfield librarian, Molly McCrew, by mistake drove her bookmobile into the zoo. Molly opened the door and she let down the stair, turned on the computer, and sat in her chair. So she drove her bookmobile to the zoo by accident. At first, all the animals watched from a distance, but Molly could conquer the strongest resistance. She's going to get these animals to read. By reading aloud from the Good Dr. Seuss, she quickly attracted a mink and a moose, a wombat and oryx, a lemur, a lynx, 8 elephant calves, and a family of skinks. So there's the librarian reading the story at the zoo, and the animals are getting curious. They're coming over to hear her stories. In a flash, every beast in the zoo was stampeding to learn all about this new something called reading. Look at how excited the animals are. They're running to hear some stories and learn all about how to read. Forsaking their niches, their nests, and their nooks, they went wild, simply wild about wonderful books, choosing thin books and fat books and cat in the hat books, and new books and true books, and heaps of how-to books. And look at all the animals. They all have a book in their hands, or maybe resting on their back, right? They're all reading. Do you see that? That looks like a lot of fun. Giraffes wanted tall books and crickets craved small books, while geckos could only read stick-to-the-wall books. The pandas demanded more books in Chinese. Molly filled their request, always eager to please. She even found waterproof books for the otter, who never went swimming without Harry Potter. The otter was reading Harry Potter. That rhymes. Raccoons read alone and baboons read in bunches, and llamas read dramas while eating their lunches. So there's the llamas, they're eating and reading, and the raccoons in the trees. They're all reading. I hope you guys are reading too. Hyenas shared jokes with the red-bellied snakes, and they howled and they hissed till their funny bones ached. They're reading funny stories. That's what I like. A tree kangaroo who adored Nancy Drew began solving mysteries right there at the zoo, such as, why were the bandicoots' books overdue? They didn't return their books on time. Right? So when you guys take out books at the library, you have to remember to return them on time. Gently, Molly taught lessons in treating books right, for the boa constrictor squeezed Crichter too tight. Baby bunnies mucked up Goodnight Moon with their paws. Giant termites devoured the Wizard of Oz. So they were a little messy and careless with their books, so the librarian had to show them how to treat their books nice. And Bear's love of books was completely outrageous. They licked all the pictures right off of the pages. Silly bears, you don't lick the books. Tasmanian devils found books so exciting that soon they had given up fighting for writing. They made up adventures so thrilling and new that the others decided to be authors too. Pythons wrote with their tails, penguins wrote with their bills, and porcupines wrote with their very own quills. So now they weren't just reading, they started writing their own stories. At the new insect zoo, bugs were scribbling haiku. The scorpion gave each a stinging review. So they started writing poems. Look at that. They all wrote their poems. As the cheetah's new novel began to take shape, he read chapters each night to the Barbary ape. And although the gazelle couldn't spell very well, like everyone else, she had stories to tell. Imagine the hippo's enormous surprise when her memoir was given the Zulifta Prize. Look, the hippo wrote a really good book and she won a prize. With so many new books, Molly knew what to do. She hired 12 beavers, a stork, and a gnu to build a branch library there at the zoo. Then the animals cried, "We can do it ourselves. We can check the books out. We can put them on shelves." And they did and they do up to this very day. 3 cheers for the zoobrary. Hip, hip, hooray. So look, they formed their own library at the zoo and they called it a zoobrary. When you visit the zoo now, you surely won't mind if the animals seem just a bit hard to find. They are snug in their niches, their nest in their nooks, going wild, simply wild, about wonderful books. Boys and girls, imagine going to the zoo and seeing all the animals reading books. That would be really silly, wouldn't it? But you know where you can see lots of people reading good books? At the library. So boys and girls, if you like this story and you want to read more about animals, check out the library, check out lots of books, keep reading, and you too will become wild about books. All right, my friends, I always like to show you a craft that goes with some of the stories that we read. So today we are making a craft about an animal with a tail. We are making a craft of a dog. So I'm going to pull my table over. All right, boys and girls, what we are making today is a puppet that looks just like a dog. And guess what he has? A tail. All right, my friends, so here's what we're going to do. What you do to make this craft, and you can do it at another time, just save this video. We start with our paper bag, and what we're going to do is fold back these flaps. All right, so what we want to do, I'll show you this. We fold under these flaps just like that. So you take the 2 corners, fold them in like that, and then fold it down so that now we get a contoured shape for our dog's face. All right, and then he really only needs a couple of pieces. So as you can see, we're going to cut a big oval shape out of white to create a belly. So I just have a piece of computer paper here. I'm actually going to fold it in half. I find that easier. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is cut myself a nice big round belly like this that I'm going to put on my puppy. All right, just like that. It doesn't have to be perfect, right? I can trim this up a little bit. And I'll take my glue stick and I'm going to glue that right on the center of the paper bag. All right, you guys, so put some glue on here. We always like to do crafts because that works our muscles, helping us to get ready for school. It also helps after we're reading a story to make a craft that keeps us with the same theme. All right, so here's some white for his belly. And now I just want to cut a little piece of white down here on his face, right? Because sometimes dogs have really cool markings. They might be different colors. And that helps to make them special and unique. So I just, again, cut a piece of white. I'm going to glue that on to his head. All right, just like that. All right. And then what I want to do is to come in with my marker. So let me grab my marker over here. And I'm going to give him a nose and 2 eyes. So I'm going to draw some eyes, big black eyes for my doggy. All right, and then a nose for my doggy, just like that. All right, he could even look a little bit like a raccoon, right? And then I'm going to come in with some brown paper. And I'm going to fold it, just scraps is all you need. And I'm going to come in and I'm going to cut these 2 long floppy ears for my dog. All right, so I folded it in half. This way, as I'm cutting, I will get 2 ears that are the same size and shape. Okay, and I'm just going to cut them right across. So I have 2 ears just like this. I will glue them on the side here of my puppy, giving him a cute ears. All right, 1 there and 1 over here. Oops, let me get that to stick a little bit better. All right, my friends. And then we need to give him a tail. So we're going to take our brown piece of paper. We're going to cut a tail. Our puppy has a really long, cool tail. Because remember the book that we read was called, What Do You Do with a Tail Like This? So let's give our doggy a tail like that. Stick it right off to the side. Just like that, right? Around the back, we stick it just like that. And then the only thing I need to do is to give him a little tongue. So I'm going to cut out a red tongue for my puppy so that he can lick and taste things, right? And let's give him his tongue and stick it right on there like that. Just like that, my friends. And look, now you have a puppy or a dog little puppet. And what you can do with this, boys and girls, you can take your hand, stick it inside your puppet, move it up and down like this, and you could tell your own stories just like the animals at the zoo decided to write their own stories. All right, you use your imagination and you can create anything. All right, my friends, we are going to finish our program with a song for tonight. So if you guys have any musical instruments at home, feel free to grab them. We are going to sing Skidamarink and I Love You. Here we go. All right, you guys, I have my bells. I'm going to shake my bells. And we are singing together Skidamarink and I Love You. Here we go. If you know it, sing with me. Skidamarinky dinky dink, skidamarinky doo. I love you. Skidamarinky dinky dink, skidamarinky doo. I love you. I love you in the morning and in the afternoon. I love you in the evening underneath the moon. Skidamarinky dinky dink, skidamarinky doo. I love you singing. I love you all applause. I hope you guys had fun in our Sunday stories again. Keep checking back each month for the next edition. Again, I am Miss Karen from A Time for Kids. Keep reading, keep having lots of fun, and we'll see you again real soon. Bye now.